my dear friends. Today, this is the first lecture of Science for Everyone from GI Copylove, Elementary Kinematics of Elementary Particles. Part 1, Kinematics for the Lyrical. And since he had such a strong inclination for reasoning, he wanted to divine how such a tiny atom moves about and whether it is endowed with ideas, willpower, and freedom. Voltaire, Microvicus. Chapter 1, What It's All About. Our aim in this book is to show that much can be made clear in one of the leading fields of modern physics, elementary particle physics, even to a reader who has mastered only school mathematics. ठीक है, तो यहाँ हम बात करेंगे elementary particle physics के बारे में. Particles or high energy physics is the science of the properties, special features, and laws of interaction of the tiniest particles of matter. Much here is strange, astonishing, and unusual. In fact, everything seems incredible in our first encounter with the world of elementary particles. We meet particles 100,000 times smaller than an atom, which is itself as many times smaller than an apple. Atom तो apple से भी छोटा है, and the apple is smaller than the earth. How can that be possible? What can we conceivably discern? And their velocity is only just less than that of light. How can we possibly follow such swift motion? And their lifespan. Some particles exist no longer than 10 to the power 23 seconds. Others disappearing after 10 to the power minus 8 seconds are said in this science to be long lived. How can we detect such particles? What kind of clock can measure such infinitesimally short lengths of time? What about their imperceptibility? There are particles so elusive that they leave barely a trace of their existence on Earth. They appear unnoticed, speed past atoms like incorporeal spirits, and then disappear, leaving no trail. How can we investigate their properties? We have nevertheless not only detected all this, but have classified the particles into families, weighed the members of each family, indicated which are related to which are transformed into which, and how frequently, which appear the same from all sides, and which are not, and much, much more. How can that be feasible? The legitimate question is posed. And if it is, and there is no reason not to believe the people who produce nuclear energy and the laser out of nothing, then what brainwaves, what ingenuity of a mind is required to convince oneself that it is so? What intelligence is required to accommodate all this knowledge? Well, all in all, such amazement is quite natural. Also understandable is the desire to look into all these marvels. Unfortunately, there is much in this branch of science that does not lend itself to simple explanation. The theoretical ideas are extremely unusual, it proves impossible to hastily explain the principle of the instruments used in nuclear physics to observe fast particles and to measure their direction, velocity, momentum, mass, and energy. But there is one field in this branch of science that the layman can attempt to understand. In this field, the complications of the experiment have come to an end, and the theoretical complications have not yet begun. This field, in which the scientist is engaged in primary processing of experimental data, primary processing of experimental data, is called kinematics of elementary particle interaction, that is, their collisions and decays. This is a highly interesting field. There is no instrument capable of observing the tracks of uncharged particles, but kinematics enables such particles to be readily noted. So far, no instrument can directly measure lengths of time shorter than 10 to the power minus 18 seconds. But kinematics enables lengths of time of the order of 10 to the power minus 23 seconds to be estimated. And all this is achieved without any profound hypothesis, only using a pencil, paper, and some simple calculations. Kinematics has to its credit certain quite important feats, including the discovery of such a marvel of nature as the neutrino, a particle that readily pierces the sun, such short-lived tenants of the earth as the neutral pi meson, such strange particles as hyperons and k-mesons, such ephemeral structures as the neutral omega meson, and other resonance particles. In short, kinematics was applied in the discovery of all the elementary particles with the exception of the protons and certain charged mesons. Of course, these discoveries were not made by kinematics alone. Their main role was played by the ingenious instruments that are used in high energy physics. Still, it is indisputable that without kinematics we would be able to make out much less using these instruments. Kinematics helps us to see what is beyond the power of apparatus and thereby appropriately concludes the succession of accelerators, targets, bending magnets, electrostatic separators, bubble and spark chambers, and camera lenses aimed at the particles. We stress the word concludes. Kinematics sets itself no far-reaching aims of unraveling the mysterious interrelations of particles or the symmetry of nature. It only tries to fill in what has not been observed by the instruments, thereby making them more sharp-sighted without altering them or taking any interest in their design. Just as Sherlock Holmes, by simply looking at a person, saw 10 times more than other people would, a physicist equipped with the knowledge of kinematics sees many times more than one without such knowledge. True, one cannot manage here by only one's imagination. Kinematics is based on precise and careful calculations rather than considerations of the following kind. Considerations of the following kind. The particle turned this way, that indicates that something pushed it Now, what could that be? Even though the calculations may sometimes be quite complex, they are always based on one and the same simple, well known principle. In an all interactions, decays, and collisions of elementary particles, their total energy and total momentum remains unchanged. If the instruments show that there is less energy or momentum after an interaction, this means that one or perhaps several unobserved particles carried away the deficit. Then other, just as simple, laws may be resorted to that sometimes enable us to identify what has been carried away. The shortage. A great many significant conclusions in kinematics are reached essentially by means of school algebra. We therefore believe that even an inquisitive sixth former or high school student or a person versed in algebra to the extent taught in the sixth form, having some idea of what vectors are and having heard of antiparticles and that at high velocities the mass of a body increases with its velocity, can understand the essence of many predictions of kinematics. The aim of this book is to take the reader into the kitchen, where many vital discoveries in the physics of elementary particles are made. If you now pluck up courage and read to the end, and if you take the trouble to try to grasp the essence of the calculations and conclusions, you will find that you have understood the mechanics of many discoveries. True, the laws of kinematics are only the first and easiest step into the world of elementary particles. But every journey begins with the first